2 wounded British soldiers from the 6th Durham Light Infantry Division during the Mareth Line Battle, March 24, 1943. A USAAF Spitfire crash-landed on the beach after being shot down at Paestum, Italy, on September 9, 1943. Luckily, the pilot emerged unscathed. A Finnish soldier trains in the snow with his canine companion at a military dog school during the Finnish-Soviet Continuation War. Hämeenlinna, Finland, February 1941. The Focke-Wulf FW-190, a formidable German fighter of World War II, nicknamed Verger for its aggressive tactics, was photographed on the Imola airfield in Finland, July 2, 1944. A Chinese soldier stands watch over some Curtiss P-40s, the fighter planes of the famed American volunteer group known as the Flying Tigers, July 1942. A crew member cleaning the barrel of a German armored personnel carrier known as the Stummel on the East Front during the summer of 1942. This Boeing B-29 superfortress known as Dauntless Dottie was photographed in Saipan, November 1944, as the ground crew prepares 500-pound bombs for the next mission. Famed Night Witches heroes, these decorated Soviet flyers Rufina Gasheva and Natalie Mecklin pose with their Polikarpov PO-2 biplanes. A frontline German war correspondent holding an Aeroflex camera is leaning against a knocked-out Soviet BT-5 light tank, circa 1940. Dauntless No. 1 Squadron RAF leader J.A.F. McLaughlin stands beside his blacked-out Hurricane night fighter at Tangmere in West Sussex, England. U.S. Air Force pilot 2nd Lieutenant Robert Wade Biesecker and his crew are standing by Honey Chili, their B-17 Flying Fortress bomber at RAF Framlingham, England, October 18, 1943. First Lieutenant J.F. Thomas and the crew of Avro Lancaster bomber known as the Victorious Virgin are photographed posing with some bomb graffiti, March 21, 1945. William E. Thomas and Joseph Jackson prepare a gift of special Easter eggs for Adolf Hitler and the German Army, Saturday, March 10, 1945, during the Battle of Remagen. A paratrooper from the American 17th Airborne Division gets a light from a Churchill tank crewman of the 6th Guards Armored Brigade near Dorsten in North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany, March 29, 1945. A broken-down and deserted Soviet T-35 heavy tank of the 8th Mechanized Corps on the Dubno-Plitsa Highway, Rivne province of western Ukraine, June 1941. U.S. troops from the 17th Airborne Division march past a burning building in Appelhülsen, Germany, March 24, 1945. Flying Officer Leonard Haynes of No. 19 Squadron RAF sits by the cockpit of his Supermarine Spitfire at Foulmere, near Duxford, September 1940. Coast Guard Beach Patrol member on the American coast with his patrol dog, October 1943. An Allied soldier takes a break near Tripoli, Libya, beside a swastika and the words Heil Hitler that have been carved into a rocky hillside, January 1943. A Royal Air Force crew try to warm themselves in their Neeson hut quarters at Dunholm Lodge, Lincolnshire, England, after returning from a raid on Stuttgart, March 2, 1944. United States Marines climbing down the nets into landing craft during the Battle of Peleliu, September 1944. Girls working on shell caps in a munitions factory in England, May 25, 1940. Medics of the U.S. 5th Infantry Division examining GI clothing found with German captured equipment after the liberation of the area near Diekirch, Luxembourg, January 20, 1945. A Finnish Brewster Buffalo 239 fighter at Salanpää Airfield, June 24, 1941. 3 troopers of the 507th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 17th Airborne Division taking a break after 5 days of frontline fighting near Germany, April 10, 1945. Veronica Foster, known as Ronnie the Bren Gun Girl, was a Canadian icon representing nearly 1 million Canadian women who worked in the manufacturing plants that produced munitions and materiel during World War II. An American Marine aiming his Garand M1 rifle whilst perched on Japanese ammunition crates on the island of Iwo Jima, February 1945. Royal Marines from 45 Commando, 1st Commando Brigade, on the lookout for snipers among the ruins in Osnabrück, Lower Saxony, Germany, April 4, 1945. Soviet artillerymen transporting a 76mm divisional gun during the forced crossing of the Oder River, Germany, December 1944. Marine Douglas Lightheart on the right cradles his .30 caliber Browning machine gun in his lap, while he and Marine Gerald Thursby Sr. take a cigarette break during mopping up operations on Peleliu, September 14, 1944. A British Crusader tank passes a burning German Panzer IV tank during Operation Crusader in Cyrenaica, the eastern province of Libya, winter 1941. The strain and fatigue of 23 days on the line is shown by Marines seen here displaying Japanese battle flags captured during the Battle of Cape Gloucester, January 15, 1944. The United States was the only country to equip its troops with an auto-loading rifle as the standard infantry weapon of World War II. It gave their troops a tremendous advantage in firepower and led General George Patton to call the M1 Garand the greatest battle implement ever devised. Crew members of this Soviet IS-2 tank, 87th Guards Heavy Tank Regiment, take a break in Breslau, now Wrocław in Poland, April 27, 1945. U.S. troops from Combat Command B of the U.S. 14th Armored Division entering the Hammelburg prison in Germany by opening the main gate with bursts of their M3 grease guns, Hammelburg, Germany, April 6, 1945. A U.S. Marine wearing his camouflage suit fires a Thompson submachine gun during jungle training 1942. Australian soldiers mingle with a section of the crowd gathered in Martin Place during the Victory in the Pacific celebrations. Sydney, August 15, 1945. British prisoners of war celebrate their liberation from Stalag X-1B, April 16, 1945. 2 Germans sitting on a Spitfire brought down on the wet sands at Calais by flying officer Peter Cazenove. It had been hit by a single bullet from a German Dornier bomber. The plane was consumed by the sandy beach and remained there for 40 years. A sergeant of the Royal Army Veterinary Corps bandages the wounded ear of a mine detection Labrador dog named Jasper at Bayeux in Normandy, July 5, 1944. A Browning automatic rifleman in the bow of the rubber landing craft provides covering fire as a 10-man boat crew of the U.S. Marine 3rd Raider Battalion reaches the undefended beach of Pavuvu in the Russell Islands during Operation Clean Slate, February 1943. American Air Forces from the 321st Bombardment Group, 447th Bombardment Squadron, Alisani Airfield, Corsica, July 2, 1944. Image of 5-year-old little Warren Whitey Bernard broke free of his mother's grasp and sprinted into the military formation to take his smiling father's hand, October 1, 1940. King George VI and Queen Elizabeth visiting bomb-damaged streets in the East End of London, October 18, 1940. While his father chats with a customer at the hardware store, a uniformed Jimmy Stewart sets up a date to go fishing, 1945. The crew of an upended Sherman tank of the 7th Armored Brigade enjoy a brew beside their vehicle while waiting for a recovery team on the Gothic Line in Italy, September 13, 1944. Celebrations being held around the world for the victory in Europe, VE Day, May 8, 1945. Margaret Sevilla, Los Angeles, VE Day, May 7, 1945. Two British sailors celebrate VE Day with their girlfriends in the fountains at Trafalgar Square, London, England, Tuesday, May 8, 1945. Ninth Army MPs are reading of the surrender in the Stars and Stripes in Germany, May 8, 1945. Thanks for joining us on Searching History, friends. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment down below, and we'll catch you on the next one.